Hello, hello, everybody. How are you doing? Becky Rainey here, and today I'm coming to you live. I haven't done a live in a long time. Pretty excited about this, and I wanted to start coming to you on a regular basis, talking to you about mindfulness and the practice of gratitude, and our emotions and how they really affect us on a day-to-day basis. And I don't know about you, but I don't know if you know about I don't know if you know this about me, that I have been working at a suicide prevention center, and it's just really been just an incredible gateway into people's minds and how we create our world. And I really been, over time, just I had an employee at our print shop that wanted to practice gratefulness, and every Thanksgiving or every month of November, she wanted to do a little strip of paper, and we would cut them out of colored paper, mostly browns and oranges, like in the Thanksgiving colors. And we would write down what we're thankful for today. And we would take the strip of paper, wrap it around, and I could probably do one real quick. Anyway, make a chain, and we wrapped it all the way around the shop. And it just was just a really great way to think about how grateful and mindful we are to the great life that we have. And, it's been a really huge conversation. I was listening to a friend, an old past landmark education leader, who was talking on a live today about mindfulness. And I thought, you know what, it's been heavy on my mind too, because how do you be mindful and grateful for things when things aren't going well, when things are really sucking, and especially in this crazy, stupid world that we have right now? Oh, I shouldn't even laugh. Um, but when we're going through and thinking about that, that's really, there's practices and techniques that I wanted to kind of share with you that he also shared. And I just thought it was just really profound. And, when you're thinking about it's a choice in life on how to choose gratitude or choose as a second, it's a choice that we make. And I know it's hard to believe because reality is right smack dab in our face. Maybe somebody got into a horrible car accident, or maybe a relative passed away, or maybe something, life happens, and I'm not putting any light to it, but we can talk about this being a toxic gratitude. And there was a term that he used, and it's like toxic positivity, when you're pretending that everything is okay. Like, I'm going to be grateful. I just have my day today. And that's kind of toxic. It's like it's not really truthfully grateful, right? I mean, because you're pretending and pushing yourself forward. So, what it really means is just recognizing when things are sucking and being with it and sitting with it. And I just thought that was really profound because sometimes we have like a client had mentioned that a lot of times we have all this noise going around in our head, all these conversations. I used to call it a whole committee, a board meeting full of conversations going on in my head, telling me what I should do and what I shouldn't do. And then I kind of graduated it to being a whole baseball stadium full of people telling me all these things, and it's like, wow, how can I quiet that noise? And one of my clients had mentioned it's like a beehive with all these bees swarming around, all the noise, right? And it's so profound because life is busy, and it's really hard to separate ourselves from really what some of that noise is and how we can relax it and quiet it, because really it's just conversations that we don't have to believe in and buy into. And one of the things that um, my old employee gave me this book, and I use it. I don't use it every day, dang it, and it's something that I need to get back into. And she even created this really powerful little gratitude book at the print shop that we had, and I just think it's just really pretty good. It's just a lot of really a collection of different things that you can do to help yourself stay in gratitude. And I think I'm going to talk to her about reprinting this because she did such a beautiful job of collecting different questions, and like the 5-year-old you, what are you thankful for being when you were 5? And then the 16-year-old you, what are you thankful for? And sometimes when we were growing up, we made a declaration. Maybe something didn't go very well, Like maybe you, here's an example that we used in Landmark that I think is really profound is like when you're in the third grade and the teacher asks a question and you know the answer. So you raise your hand and you're all excited about it. I know the answer. And the teacher calls you out and said, and you tell the answer. You blurt it out, blah, 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 because you're so excited. And you were wrong. The teacher says, no, that's wrong. So what do you tell yourself? You tell yourself that I'm never going to embarrass myself like that again. I'm never going to raise my hand in class and embarrass myself. And what you do with that declaration is you file it away in that memory. You file that away, and it's something that you actually um, like made such a huge declaration about it that you don't even realize, you're not even conscious when you bring that up. Like, oh no, I'm not going to do that. As an adult self, how many times you say, no, I'm not going to do that? And that is your third grade self that raised the hand and declared that that is something that you want to do, you don't want to ever do again. And think about how many times that shows up in our life. Maybe you tripped and fell on stage when you were doing something and you got embarrassed. I'm never going to go on stage again and embarrass myself. Or somebody else could have tripped. Oh, I could never do that. That's like me. Like you relate yourself to other conversations and everything else. So that is what's really important that I want to say here is that when you're relating yourself to those conversations, why are you believing that? Why do you buy into it? Why not be unreasonable and take on different mindset of like, I have all these reasons, this beehive of all these reasons going on in my head of why not to do something, and just shut them up, quiet them down. And you can actually do this through like a meditation practice or even just doing a gratitude journal every day, being thankful of what you're thankful for today. And it could be, I'm so thankful I have a clean pair of socks. Like, I'm so thankful I have my cup of coffee. I'm so thankful. And sometimes when you first get started of being writing down what you're thankful for, it's hard to think of them because maybe sometimes things aren't going very well and you're not thankful for things, right? But start with the simple stuff. Oh, I'm thankful I woke up today. I'm thankful that the sun rose today. I'm thankful that the grass is growing. I mean, it could be things that you don't even have a relationship to, but just when you start thinking about what you're thankful for, then all these other things start to flow and come together for you. And it's just really incredible the mindset, the energy. So here's the other thought about that is we're all made of energy. And I teach, like with the essential oils, that they're all made of energy. And when we have dis-ease or disease, a health issue, when we have something like that going on in our life, it could be related to an emotion or an upset that you're having. And so to be able to break through that emotional upset that you're having, sometimes that energy and that negativity is so difficult. You spiral down so much, it's hard to come out of that hole. But going through and creating new energy to help climb out of the hole is really simple by just being in a state of gratitude. And even it could be just calling someone up and saying how much you appreciate them in your life. And when you're giving that gratitude to someone else, you're actually multiplying that energy. So you're getting like bonus points, if you will, in the energy world of energy. um, and so, anyhow, I think that this was just something really, really just pretty powerful. And I'm going to give you a short little meditation practice that to get yourself out of that negative hole, that tough day, things aren't going your way. Have you ever noticed that when you have a bad day, things just kind of go from bad to worse? Well, that's that energy that you're attracting. And so what I want to do is give you a tool today on how to how magnets, when you put them together, they stick, or if you have them flipped around that they repel. Well, I want you to repel that negative energy and attract the positive energy. And what we're going to do is you're going to do like a small little meditation or a little being with yourself, and you're going to choose great, positive gratitude energy. And sometimes that has to start with loving yourself or believing in who you are. And sometimes it's hard to do when you're not happy with yourself. Like today, my hair is not looking so good. Overslept. I mean, I can go on and on, right? All the things that aren't working so well. But stop. You have the power and the control to stop yourself with that. And simply by just being with yourself for a minute. And so sit down in a chair, put your hands down on your knees or off to the side. Take a deep breath and close your eyes, or maybe stare down at the floor near you. Sometimes it's better to close your eyes so you're not distracted by, oh, yeah, there's a bill I got to pay, or I should put that away, or my desk is messy. You start to get distracted on things. So it's better to just close your eyes so you can quiet the noise. And I want you to think about how, when you take this deep breath, cleansing breath, like the kind of cleansing breath when you jump into a thing of cold water and it's like, you go like that. So take a deep cleansing breath and have it go deep down into your lungs. And I want you to think about all that oxygen that you just took into your lungs and how amazing, what kind of a miracle that oxygen is, that it's feeding into your veins, feeding all of your organs, this oxygen that we have to survive. What an incredible thing. Just think about that. We just had a solar eclipse, right? When you think about how the universe works with itself, like how incredible we are as human beings that we have to coexist with plants and things to be able to have this oxygen and carbon and all this exchange of energy in our body. And so when you breathe in this oxygen into your lungs, think about it bouncing into your lungs and across the different lung walls. And then it's absorbing into the lungs and going into the veins, and the heart just pumping this vein, the blood, with this oxygen, this newly formed oxygen, all over your body. Just in a matter of seconds, that blood is already down to your toes. And if you could think about your toes, wiggle them, wow, they moved because that oxygen is feeding those muscles and the toes moving. What a miracle that is. And all the while, your stomach is digesting the food that you had maybe for breakfast or for dinner, depending on when you watch this. Your heart is pumping, and you're not telling it to do that. It's doing it automatically. And what a miracle. And then just think about that. What a miracle that you are, and that the gift that you are to this world, because this machinery is just existing in the world and it's up to something and it's trapped. We want to untrap it. What amazing gifts do you have? What are you good at? Be grateful for those things that you're really good at. Maybe it's getting up and taking a shower. Maybe it's making a sewing project. Maybe it's making a really good dinner or barbecuing. Maybe it's mowing the lawn. I mean, it could be anything, but just be thankful that you know how to do that. Be thankful for your heart working without you telling your heart to pump that blood. Be thankful for your stomach to be digesting so that you can feed your organs so you can go out and mow that lawn and you can go out and do these things that you're up to some in a day-to-day basis. Now I want you to think about another time that you were the most happiest, where you were uncontrollably laughing. Like, how did you laugh that uncontrollable laugh? Like, what is a laugh? How does your body do that? Isn't it incredible? You laughed so hard that you had tears coming out of your eyes. And you were just so grateful for that moment. For me, I remember when I got married, the day of our wedding, after my husband and I walked down the aisle, the introduction of Larry and Becky Rainey, and we walked down the aisle and people were clapping and cheering, and I just was so grateful. And at the end of as we walked out of the church area into the foyer of the church, my brother and sister were there, and they gave me a group hug. I've never felt so loved in that day, in that moment, with my husband taking me on as his wife and my brother and sister congratulating me. It was just such an impactful moment. I'm so thankful for that. And if you can think of a moment like that, rest with that joy, rest with that peace that's brought you in your life, and be thankful for who that person maybe gave you that joy or that experience that you had with the bird flying over, the waves or the wind, whatever it could be. And just keep bringing that happy moment when things are sad, and you can create that joy in any moment that you have in your life. So I want you to open your eyes, and how do you feel right now? Are the bees still buzzing around your head? I hope not. I hope they just kind of rested for a minute. Maybe they'll come back pretty quickly. But as you start to practice that kind of meditation over time, you will be I mean, here's the thing. If you did that every morning, can you imagine the mindset that you created for your gratefulness for the day? Who would you be being in the matter? And it truly is a choice. Like you could choose between this or this, just as simple as choosing. They both write, highlighter, pen. They both write, but one provides a different thing than another. And then you have to think about which one do you want? Well, if you could just rest with being okay with whatever you choose and that there's no decision. When you make a decision, you're deciding between one thing or another. You're going to kill one thing off, right? And so to be able to make a decision about what you're going to be today or what you're going to do today or how are you going to show up today is in your mindfulness and the practice of the gratitude that you are. So I hope this was helpful for you. I really wanted to share this with you. And I just wanted to just bring to you how grateful I am to all of you in my life. And I look forward to our next session. Thank you. Take care.